दूसरों के जैसे पहले खुद को जय करे, हमको मन की शक्ति देना, भेद भाव अपने दिल से साफ कर सके, दोस्तों से भूल हो तो माफ कर सके, झूठ से बचे रहे, सच कदम भरे, दूसरों के जैसे पहले खुद को जय करे, हमको मन की शक्ति देना, मुश्किलें पड़े तो हम पर हित न कर्म कर, साथ दे तो धर्म का, चले तो धर्म पर, खुद पे हौसला रहे, बदी से ना डरे, दूसरों के जैसे पहले खुद को जय करे, हमको मन की शक्ति देना।
Now, thank you all. Now may I request my colleague, Mrs. Prema, to welcome the gathering. Ma'am, over to you.
A warm wishes and happy morning to all those who are gathered here in this virtual platform. It gives me immense pleasure and I'm very privileged to welcome our driving force and a dynamic person, the guest of honor, Mrs. Geetika Karola, Principal of JSS Public School, the lead collaborator of our hub KK 1175. Wholeheartedly, I extend a warm welcome to Geetika ma'am. Welcome ma'am. And also, I extend my warm welcome to Mrs. Anupama ma'am, Principal of DPS Electronic City, who is the Secretary of BSSCA and also a very rich and resourceful. Welcome Anupama ma'am. And also, I would like to welcome Mrs. Veena Anil ma'am, Principal of Diya Academy of Learning, who is very resourceful and always supports our hub team. Welcome ma'am. And I extend a warm welcome to Mrs. Mahalakshmi ma'am, Principal of Principal of St. Sophia Convent School, who is also a strength to our team. Welcome ma'am. And finally, I extend my warm welcome to Sister Shaibi, Principal of Assisi School. Welcome, Sister. And I extend a heartfelt welcome to all the principals of different schools and coordinators and all the educators, those who are presenting and those who are participating. Welcome one and all.
A heartfelt thank you, ma'am, for your warm welcome. Now, before moving to the presentation, the focused areas of today's session are as follows. We are moving on with the introduction, objectives of 21st century skill, presentation by our educators. So they are as follows: forces implementation in English, Hindi as well as Kannada, life skills in science, learning skills through art integration, design thinking in English and Kannada, winding up with vote of thanks. So moving on with the introduction. The concept of 21st century skill are not new, yet as the demands of our changing economy, raise among the schools a pressure or intention of need to learn this 21st century skills in the school. To prepare the students in the better way, it is very much needed for us to inculcate the 21st century skills along with the 25C design thinking among the students for the better survival in their future life. So the components of the 21st century skills are as follows. So we'll go on with the objectives. So the main objective of the 21st century skills inculcating among the school students are as follows. Investigate the case of 21st century learning and its implication for schools and districts. Explore the principles and strategies associated with 21st century assessment, emphasizing way in which it can promote successful learning of all students. Examine ways in which educators can collaboratively use 21st century assessment practices to transform schools as a learning organization. So here on the screen, you can see an handbook of the 21st century skills, which has been provided by a CBSE board. We have used this handbook for our reference purposes. It's a very wonderful book with all presentation and the best images that has been placed in this handbook. So coming to the components of the 21st century skills. So 21st century skills are mainly classified under three. So the learning skills, under learning skills, we have 4 C's: critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity. Under literacy skills, we have information literacy, media literacy, technology literacy. Under life skills, we have FLIPS, that is flexibility, leadership, initiative, productivity, and social skills. So now we are very much awaited to see how these skills are being inculcated by our educators in the school for real upliftment of the students. So we have various educators and a resource person among us who are going to share their learning outcomes and how they have implemented these 21st century skills in the students. So may I request Mrs. Jayashree ma'am from DPS Public School to go on with the presentation. Ma'am, a warm welcome to you.
A very happy morning, a beautiful opportunity to share our best practices. I'm Jayashree Sriram Prasad and I represent Delhi Public School, Electronic City. The skill that I will be talking about are the 21st century skills, the 4 C's. For me, the 4 C's are like the Ashoka pillar, the stones, right? They are so distinctive, yet so united. And I personally feel play is fundamentally important for learning the 21st century skills. So 21st century skills like communication, of sharing thoughts, ideas, agreeing to disagree, collaboration, working with your friends and peers and other teachers, critically thinking, and also to exhibit their creative mindset. Over to the next slide, please. Ma'am, could you please switch the slide?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So here I would like to give you a sneak peek of a couple of activities that we have done during the virtual classes. So this is through the Our School portal where the online classes are conducted, and the happy faces says it all. We all know magic words. We all say it so often. Do we also integrate it in our learning? Yes, we do. We have puppets, we have role plays where children use the magic words. We also have a beautiful concept called conservation. But how to put it into practice? Where the lessons, the real lifetime lessons are put into practice. Water conservation, our children became the water marshals. Within their community, within their apartment, within their society, they reached out to the mass and disseminated the information of water conservation. And they were more than happy to share it with their friends and family. Yet another aspect is, ma'am, over to the next slide, is why do all the Cinderella stories and the Barbie stories and the Avenger stories should have the same end? We rather would encourage our children to use their imagination, their critical thinking, and creativity to put it forth. If you could see here, children like to argue, children like to agree or disagree, right? Rather than having that, we use that as an opportunity to enhance their communication skills. They can do pencil sketch, drawings, and put across valuable lessons of strength, sharing, caring. Opportunities are also provided to the students to display the artistic skills. How? We learn common noun and proper noun in our English classroom. We cannot go out. We are within the four walls for safety reasons, COVID times. We encourage children to use basic things around the house like a toothpaste box, soap box, and things around them to distinguish between a common noun and a proper noun. The happy faces of the children is something that a teacher looks forward to every class. Would like to also, ma'am, the next slide, please. If you could just have a look at the slide that's being displayed here. Here, they're showing the power of unity. And the children have used brilliant imagination of how important it is to stand united. And their artistic skills are put to test too. And here, slide 17, ma'am. Here, we have discussed the topic adjectives, describing words. We do not start with the book. We do not start with the PPTs only. We start with fun play. Play is fundamental. We use our name. J, we say jovial Jayashree. R, we say a radiant Ritu, and that is how the classroom functions. We have role plays, talk shows, and jam sessions. These are some of the activities which were successfully conducted through the last 2 years, through the last virtual medium of education. Would like to give the last speak here of the lovely feedback that we have received from our parents. We have children right here. And we also used various online tools like WordWall, live worksheets to help children practice their grammatical skills. As you can see it here. We had listening activities, speaking activities, reading activities too. Thank you. Over to Devashri, ma'am.
Thank you, Jayashree, ma'am. A very warm good morning to everyone present here. I would like to begin by quoting Albert Einstein. Education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to actually think. So, the application of the 21st century skills are essential components in our classroom teaching. So various techniques such as role play, group discussion, as Jayashree ma'am has just now explained, interview method, or think, pair, share method, or documentary method, or even video or PPT sharing and podcasts making by the grown-ups, travelogues or brochure making. Now, these are some of the activities which the grown-up students of grade 11th and 12th can easily take up. As you can see in that pictures out there, they are live pictures of the different activities. For example, they've applied their knowledge that is appropriate to the nature and the purpose of the activity to the thing that they are presenting. They've set goals to make the project interdisciplinary. They've anticipated the content and then organized what and how to present the matter. They've also related prior knowledge and personal experiences to the topic that was given to them or they have chosen on their own. Also, they generate keywords and concepts that is likely to come up. So, Pavitra ma'am, let the slide with the pictures. Yes. So you can see in various places, there are interviews being conducted. There is a street play that is being performed. There is art integration too, where people have quickly drawn out the concept that they've learned or the message that they have gained from various aspects and they have put it into practice out there. So these are some of the wonderful ways that we can not only do it offline, but also do it online, wherein students can be put in breakout rooms where they can conduct various activities in groups, and then that can be presented in the class. Moving on to the, when we talk about the rubrics, the parameters, kindly change the slide, ma'am. After that. Yes. So coming to the parameters that are involved in the whole assessment of the entire thing, keeping in mind all the 4 skills of the 21st century, that is related to collaboration, related to creativity or critical thinking. When it comes to all that, we have to keep in mind and tell the students about what are the aspects that they are being assessed on, like interactive competency is taken into consideration, how they've initiated the problem, how they have taken turns to actually apply it in the form of a team, how relevant is it to the topic that they have taken up. Is the fluency correct? Is there cohesion and coherence in the way they are delivering the matter? Is the pronunciation correct? Have there been proper tone of ups and downs? And then, of course, the language accuracy and the vocabulary that is involved in the entire process. In keeping all these in mind, the final outcome of the whole thing is that we teach the students actually get to know how to become flexible and be adaptable in different situations, how to initiate a certain problem that is there and then work on it, collect data, then work on analyze the whole thing, and then finally come up with the presentation that also gives a self-direction to the students. It involves, the entire process actually involves a lot of creativity and innovative things that they can come up with, wherein they actually express the messages that have to be conveyed, and all the 4 skills of English, that is writing, speaking, listening, and your reading, everything comes into practice. Each one, as they are observing, they learn something, they grasp something. So there comes in global awareness. And then, of course, you have the environmental literacy also coming into practice, where they come to know about the various aspects, where they have to keep in check about certain things which does not affect the environment. And finally, we have to see to it that there is a holistic approach to the whole thing with an interdisciplinary learning, because we can't do without multidisciplinary learning today, where English is taken into consideration with history and then geography, or maybe any other subjects, say psychology, because messages are conveyed in various ways. So with that, I would like to conclude my presentation. Thank you, everyone. Over to the next presenter. Thank you.
Thank you, Jayashree ma'am and Debashree ma'am, for precisely expressing about the topic and showing the learning outcomes that you have been done in your activities. Thank you, teachers. Next, I would like to call upon Miss Bharati, talking about one of the 4 21st century skill, collaboration. Ma'am, over to you.
Good morning, one and all. My name is Bharati. I'm from ASSISI School. छात्रों में करने की इच्छा शामिल होती है। आज के डिजिटल सोसाइटी में 21st सेंचुरी स्किल का होना बहुत जरूरी है। 21st सेंचुरी स्किल्स में मेरा टॉपिक जो है कोलैबोरेशन, सहयोग कौशल। सहयोग कौशल का मतलब है एक से ज्यादा लोग जब किसी गोल को अचीव करने के लिए साथ देते हैं तो उसे कोलैबोरेशन कहा जाता है। सहयोग अधिगम एक शैक्षणिक प्रक्रिया है। इसमें बच्चे समूह में सामूहिक रूप से अपने उद्देश्य को प्राप्त करते हैं, जो व्यक्तिगत प्रतियोगिता संबंधी गुण को आगे बढ़ाता है। जो छात्र सहयोग से समूह में कार्य करते हैं वे अपने और दूसरों की योग्यता में वृद्धि करते हैं। इस प्रक्रिया में शिक्षक की भूमिका बदलकर सिर्फ जानकारी देना ही नहीं रह जाती, वह उनके सीखने में भी मदद करते हैं। इससे संबंधित गतिविधि करना। इस गतिविधि में एक चित्र छात्र को दिखाया गया। उन्हें 5 मिनट का समय दिया कि वे इस चित्र को देखकर अपने दिमाग में किसी घटना या कहानी का ताना बाना बना ले और उसे कहानी के रूप में लिखे। सामूहिक कार्य में कई छात्र मिलकर एक ही विषय पर अपनी अपनी राय प्रस्तुत करते हैं, जिसमें सभी की बातों को सुनने के लिए एक न्यायाधीश होते हैं। इस कौशल का उद्देश्य छात्रों को अपने साथियों से सीखने और नए कौशल विकसित करने का अवसर प्रदान करना है। तो इंडिविजुअल एक्टिविटी में छात्रों ने कुछ गलतियां की। उदाहरण के लिए वाक्य संरचना, वर्तनी उपयोग और व्याकरण अशुद्धियां और विराम चिन्हों का सही प्रयोग इसमें नहीं किए थे। वही सामूहिक गतिविधि ग्रुप एक्टिविटी में छात्रों के लेखन में थोड़ा सा बदलाव और सुधार देखा गया। इसमें संदर्भ के अनुसार शब्द और वाक्य प्रयोग किया गया और व्याकरण शुद्धता भी इसमें देख सकते हैं और विराम चिन्हों का भी सही प्रयोग किया है। ओवरऑल लर्निंग आउटकम ये है: सही वाक्यों व शब्दों का प्रयोग, व्याकरण शुद्धता, वर्तनी प्रयोग, वाक्यों को एक दूसरे के आधार पर सही प्रकार से जोड़ना। इनसे छात्र के अंदर में आत्मविश्वास का भी विकास हुआ। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Bharati ma'am. Next, I would like to call upon Gayatri ma'am. Ma'am, over to you.
आप सभी को मेरा प्यार Good morning to all. My name is Gayatri from ASSISI School. 21st century skill की लाइफ स्किल में जो मेरा टॉपिक है वो है क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग, यानी कि आलोचनात्मक सोच। आज के समय में हमको या विद्यार्थियों को आलोचनात्मक सोच की आवश्यकता क्यों पड़ती है? इसकी आवश्यकता तब पड़ती है जब उनके पास सबसे ज्यादा अवसर होते हैं, और उन अवसरों में सबसे फायदेमंद अवसर कौन सा है वो उनको उसको चुन सके ठीक तरीके से। नहीं तो वो इस असमंजस में या कंफ्यूजन में रहते हैं कि ये ऑप्शन अच्छा है या वो ऑप्शन अच्छा है, और इसी सोच में वो अपना समय बर्बाद कर देते हैं। WHO के अनुसार भी क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग लाइफ स्किल में शामिल है, मतलब अपनी जिंदगी को चलाने के लिए बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है। परंतु हर स्किल की तरह यह स्किल भी एक दिन में नहीं आती है। आलोचनात्मक सोच को बच्चों में मजबूत करने के लिए ही हमने अपनी कक्षा 10 की कविता पर्वत प्रदेश में पावस को चुना। ये कविता हमने इसलिए चुनी कि जब मैं इस कविता को पढ़ा रही थी तो मैंने ये नोटिस किया कि बच्चों के अंदर कई तरह के प्रश्न आ रहे थे कि कवि इस तरह से कैसे सोच सकता है, कवि के अंदर ये विचार क्यों आ रहे हैं। तो मैंने इसमें पहले उन लोगों को जो गतिविधि थी उसमें पहली गतिविधि थी स्वयं से पूछो, मीन्स सेल्फ मेड क्वेश्चन। सेल्फ मेड क्वेश्चन में उन्होंने क्या किया, उन लोगों ने अपने आप उस टॉपिक से रिलेटेड कुछ क्वेश्चन बनाए। जब उन्होंने कुछ क्वेश्चंस बनाए तो उनके अंदर थोड़ी सी मतलब शुरुआत में एक आलोचनात्मक सोच का विकास हुआ। फिर इसी गतिविधि को हमने कुछ दिनों के बाद एक दूसरे ढंग से किया। दूसरे ढंग में हमने क्या किया, पूछो तो जानो। पूछो तो जानो में हमने क्रॉस क्वेश्चनिंग की। क्रॉस क्वेश्चनिंग के दौरान उन्होंने जो प्रश्न स्वयं से पूछे थे या अपने आप से पूछे थे, अब उन्होंने वही प्रश्न एक दूसरे के साथ पूछे। इस गतिविधि के दौरान उनके अंदर आलोचनात्मक सोच का और ज्यादा विकास हुआ। इसके क्या परिणाम निकल कर आए? वह परिणाम है उनके अंदर सोच और समस्या का समाधान जब मिला तो उन्होंने अपनी कल्पना शक्ति का ज्यादा से ज्यादा इस्तेमाल किया। उन्होंने अपने विचारों को एक स्पष्ट रूप दिया। वे स्पष्टता और मौन को पहचानने लगे। उन्होंने बेहतर निर्णय लेने का भी बढ़ने लगी और उनके अंदर जिज्ञासा के साथ साथ रचनात्मकता और क्रिएटिविटी भी आने लगी। इसके साथ ही मैं अपनी इस प्रेजेंटेशन को खत्म करती हूँ। आप सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। थैंक यू एवरीवन।
Thank you, Gayatri ma'am, for very precisely explaining about the critical thinking. Thank you so much, ma'am. Next, I would like to call upon Ritika ma'am to speak about creative thinking. Ma'am, over to you.
Yeah. My name is Ritika Khanna. I am from Delhi Public School, Electronic City. So now, today my topic, Rachnatmak, creativity. So रचनात्मक that activity when we think out of the box मीन्स यह कौशल मतलब छात्रों की अवधारणाओं को एक अलग रोशनी में देखने का अधिकार देता है, जिसमें नवाचार होता है, रचनात्मक नए विविध और अद्वितीय विचारों को उत्पन्न करने की क्षमता देता है। तो रचनात्मक रूप से सोचने का अर्थ ये है कि चीजों को जब हम एक अलग दृष्टिकोण से देखना या फिर रचनात्मक चीजों को पूरा करने के लिए नए तरीकों की कोशिश करना, यही नवाचार और आविष्कार के बराबर है। सो जब रचनात्मकता के रूप में जब हम अपने विद्यालय में हमने 2 तरह की एक्टिविटी कराई, वे थी छवि वार्ता और क्रिएटिव स्पेस। सो क्रिएटिव स्पेस में छवि वार्ता में जब हमने इस गतिविधि को के तहत बच्चों से बात करने और अपनी राय और अपने विचार व्यक्त करने के लिए विभिन्न प्रकार की छवियों का उपयोग किया, तो वे अपने विचार व्यक्त करने के लिए इमोजी, पेंसिल, पेन, रंग, टैबलेट, बोर्ड, नोटबुक आदि जैसी चीजों का उपयोग करने लगे। तो इससे बच्चों को सोचने में मदद मिली और सामान्य पैटर्न से अलग और चीजों के माध्यम से उन्होंने उस चीज को समझा। जब हमने इसको अपने विद्यालय में इस एक्टिविटी को, इस क्रिएटिव इमेज स्पेस वाली एक्टिविटी को कराया, तो इस गतिविधि से हमें जब बच्चों को कक्षाओं में विभिन्न प्रकार की छवियों को दिखाकर करवा के, तो बच्चों ने अपने विचार को व्यक्त किया और उनकी विषय के प्रति जो रुचि थी वो बढ़ती गई। बच्चों ने सामान्य पैटर्न से अलग सोचकर चीजों को समझने का नया रास्ता खोजा और धीरे धीरे बच्चों के विषय में रुचि बढ़ती गई। इस तरह की गतिविधियों को हमें अपनी कक्षाओं में प्रयोग करके अपने विषय को और रुचिकर बना सकते हैं। और इसी तरह जब हमने एक और एक्टिविटी क्रिएटिव स्पेस की एक्टिविटी जब अपने विद्यालय में अपने हिंदी विषय में कराई, तो बच्चों में इस एक्टिविटी को हमने नाटक, प्रश्नोत्तरी, पेंटिंग, संगीत प्रतियोगिता और जैसे रचनात्मक गतिविधियों के लिए स्थान उपलब्ध कराना शामिल किया। शिक्षक ये जब इस एक्टिविटी को कराएं तो शिक्षक ये सुनिश्चित करेंगे कि ये गतिविधियां कक्षा में समय समय पर आयोजित की जाए ताकि बच्चों में रचनात्मक स्थान को अपने पाठ्यक्रम के साथ एकीकृत कर सके। और जब हमने इस एक्टिविटी को अपने स्कूल में कराया और इस एक्टिविटी को हम समय समय पर जब अपने बच्चों को करवाने लगे, तो बच्चों में क्रिएटिविटी बढ़ती गई और हमने इस एक्टिविटी को ड्रामा, क्विज, पेंटिंग, संगीत प्रतियोगिता आदि के रूप में अपनी कक्षाओं में करा के तो बच्चों में क्रिएटिव बढ़ती गई। पहले बच्चे इतने क्रिएटिव नहीं थे, पर इन एक्टिविटीज से उनकी हिंदी विषय को आसानी से समझने में रुचि बढ़ती गई। So thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ritika ma'am. We were really happy to see the activities done and the beautiful outcome that we have expected, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Next, I would like to call Sashikala ma'am from Assisi School to kindly explain about the communication skills.
Good morning, all. I am Kannada teacher Shashikala from Assisi School. Communication skills are very important for the successful future career of a student. Reading, writing, and listening are the 3 most important communication skills for students. For the purpose of communication skills development, I gave a topic in the classroom and students were asked to write about it. Then the students made some mistake in that activity. For example, used words were not correct. There was lack of grammar. But when I conducted the second activity, after a gap of few days, I noticed that students improved slightly. If one of these communication skills, if done in just one day, there will be no result. We will always be rewarded it. We try this communication technique in our everyday classroom in one way or another. Learning outcome of this activity, using spellings into right place, knowledge of vocabulary, use of article sign, purity of grammar. So I conclude saying communication skills can also be inculcated in all other subjects with the daily practice. Thank you.
Thank you, Sasikala ma'am. Next, I would like to call Ritu ma'am to discuss about the life skills and the learning outcomes with the activities. Ma'am, over to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. 21st century life skills take a look at intangible skills of a student's everyday life. These skills focus on both personal and professional qualities. The 5 21st century skills are flexibility, leadership, initiative, productivity, and social skills. So how we can teach 21st life skills effectively? The first activity is a shuffle, and this is a group activity, and it uses a chit system for dividing the students into groups. This random selection distribution of students will make most of them uncomfortable, but this is the challenge. Students should be flexible enough to work anybody in various conditions. This activity is a one of very good activity, and it helps the students to adaptive and flexible to adjust or change oneself to best meet the need of the situation. Ma'am, please, next. The next activity is a social circle time. At circle time, each student says something pleasant about person next to them as they go around the circle. This can be theme-based or their uniqueness, or it can be changed every day to stay fresh. This activity is again one of the good activity for 21st century life skill to teach in our classroom, because this activity make the student adaptive, flexible, and appreciative of the diversity. The next activity is do se bhale char. Teamwork is a better. As the name says, the teacher will divide the class into group of 4 and give all of them the same lesson to perform and present before the class, the idea what they have. Student can use any method to present here, such as a skit, role play, flip chart, or PowerPoint presentation. Here, very important, teacher will observe a student how they plan their activity, and after their performance, teacher will ask questions to the group members. Now, again, this activity is a very fruitful activity to teach 21st life skill, because in this these groups, these students, they will understand that how the teamwork is better. Although they are representing same topic, but with the teamwork every time it's a different. The last activity, which is one of the very good activity to give a 21st life skill here, is a research activity. In this activity, we can perform it as a individually also or group also. Here, students shall research a topic by collecting information from various sources. Student will create a document after discussing their research and take feedback from other students too. Then each student, they compile some reflective paper using what they have researched and the input from their peer. Now, again, this activity enhance their performance and lead to the increased productivity. Yes, in the last, I will say, a tree that does not bend during a storm get uprooted. So this implies flexibility, adaptability without changing the goal and values is required, and one of the very important in 21st century life skills. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. The activities which you have inculcated in making this life skill successful were really amazing, ma'am. Thank you so much. Next, I would like to call upon Shakum, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to start my presentation with a quote. There is a famous quote by Albert Einstein. Art is the beautiful way of doing things. Science is the effective way of doing things. Now, let's see what is art integration. Art integrated learning is a framework of experimental learning, which provides better environment for all learners through their own access points. Art integration means combining arts with the teaching of different curricular areas. Subjects such as the languages, social studies, science, and mathematics can be made to correlate with arts and can clarify science concepts with easy way. Art integration helps children with the development of motor skills, language skills, social skills, decision making, risk taking, and inventiveness. Now here you can see all these activities I have conducted in the class. At this stage, children are both highly inquisitive and energetic. Creative activities such as drawing, painting, clay work, talk shows encourages the children. At this stage, all education should be through arts. The objective of children participation in visual and performing arts is to make learning joyful and engaging, promote sensitivity and engaging, promote sensitivity of environment, encourage children to be aware of the environment through keen observation and unhindered exploration. In the given activities, children learned about the food culture of two different states. They saw how a seed becomes a plant. They saw like rainbow colors, fruits are of different colors, and eating them can keep them healthy. By doing all these activities, they are learning the science topics through arts. Ma'am, please change the slide. Now let's see the learning outcomes from these activities. All these activities helps in effective oral and written communication, helps in increasing curiosity and imagination, helps in openness and courage to explore, helps in social responsibility and cultural, global and environmental awareness. With this, I'll conclude my presentation here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Shaku ma'am, for the wonderful presentation with all the activities. Next, I would like to call Manisha ma'am. Ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. Heinrich, a great physician, once said, "Every art should become science and every science should become art." I truly believe in his words because when art is integrated with curriculum, it helps in clarifying the concepts very easily. When art is integrated with science topics, it reaches mainly the students who might not be engaged in normal classrooms. This provides challenges for learners at all levels. Here you can see some art integrated activities which we have done in our school. The materials used for these activities are cereals and pulses for digestive system, mustard seeds for respiratory system, dried leaves for explaining the structure of leaf, poster colors, acrylic colors, water paints can also be used to explain certain topics. When these topics are visually integrated with arts, it increases the curiosity about the topic. And after completing, it will remain in their minds very artistically for a very long time. The main motive behind introducing this art integrated learning is to make teaching and learning process more joyful. So if we see about the learning outcomes, these art integrated activities develop keen interest about the subject and helps children in reinforcements. The creative artwork gives students an additional connection to remember topic-oriented information during their assessments. This constructs knowledge of themes, subject, and concepts to be aware of the interdisciplinary connections. And the best part of art integration is, as educators, we can play on innovative lesson plans and offer hands-on more art integrated activities to improve our students' educational experience in a better way. Thank you.
Thank you, Manisha ma'am. Next, I would like to call Chandana ma'am to discuss about the learning skills.
Good afternoon, one and all present here. I am Chandana Pandharpurkar from JSS Public School. As my co-teachers explained the importance of art integrated learning, here in our school also we have introduced art integrated learning. When we taught a topic to the children and we asked the children to give the outcome, result and their understanding in the form of art, the results were amazing and innovative. As you see in my screen, we have explained about the food groups and the children, when we asked the children to present their understanding of food groups in art form, they created a pyramid of food group, different types of food groups. And when we asked children to explain about the layers of the soil, they did small activities and they explained in the form of activities and showed to us. And learning outcomes of this art integrated learning LES help students to explain their experiences with results. Can I have another slide, please, ma'am? Help students explain their experiences with activities and the results. Art integrated learning helps students discover concepts of science in the world around them. It enables interdisciplinary connections. That means it integrates with science, not only with science, social, English, and IT disciplines, and enhances observation, curiosity, exploration, and creativity in students. Children experience joy and eagerness to learn concepts. With this, I'll conclude. Thank you. Over to Pavitra ma'am.
Thank you, Chandana ma'am. Teachers, till now we have completed with the 21st century skills, and it's time for us to know what are the skills that can be inculcated in design thinking and teaching. So coming to the design thinking, as we all are aware that design thinking is the process that is used to understand child challenges, assumptions, and redefine problems and create innovation problem solving techniques for the student. So with adapting this technique, let us see how our teachers have inculcated this and what is the learning outcomes they have been perceived from this activities. So may I call on Ms. Jacinta ma'am? Ma'am, over to you.
Hello everyone. I'm Jacinta from Delhi Public School, Electronic City, Bangalore. Today I'm here to talk about design thinking and what that could look like in an early childhood classroom. This is one of those buzzwords that's out there, especially in the corporate world. So what is design thinking and how can it be applied in education? Popularized by the Institute of Design at Stanford, also known as D School, the solution thinking method generates creative solutions to real world problems. It's been there around since 1990s, but is gaining grounds today in the field of education. Everything around us is designed. Think about how a toothbrush you hold in the morning to brush your teeth, to the clothes you wear, food, vehicles, mobiles, computers, etc. are all designed with considerations like materials, ergonomics, that is comfort design and user-friendly system, functionality, aesthetics, that is beauty and artistic taste, etc. So design thinking is an approach to learning that focuses on developing children's creative confidence. Design thinking relies on the natural and coachable human ability to be intuitive, to recognize patterns and construct ideas that are emotionally meaningful as well as functional. The previous slide, please. The design thinking, previous one, please.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yeah. The design thinking process is comprised of 5 steps: empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. Empathize, know your audience, and through observation, discover their needs. Define, based on user needs and insights, identify an actionable problem. Ideate, brainstorm various solutions to this problem. Prototype, build a representation of your ideas to test your solutions. And the last one is test. Returning to your original user group, test your ideas for feedback. This process can be adapted to be used in classroom settings as well. Why children as little as kindergartners need design thinking skills? Developing a maker's mindset is the answer. In this day and age, the ability to work in a group is a crucial skill, and that can start in the early ages. Children naturally learn how to play and socialize, but one thing that could be really beneficial is to know how to communicate and share ideas together, how to add on to someone else's ideas or share your own ideas and get feedback. We had an opportunity to test out what design thinking looks like in preschool years. Our nursery children were asked to design biscuit canopies as a part of the theme of the month, which was healthy and junk food. They were also asked to design a necklace by stringing beads or colorful pasta. So how is design thinking applied in these activities? When making biscuit canopy, the children should first know who are they making it for? For their mom, dad, grandparents, or themselves. Did they consider their likes, their dislikes, etc.? After understanding the end user, the child was able to say what he or she is going to make. It is after understanding the user needs, you can clearly define what you are making. Ask open-ended questions to understand what they are planning to make. What do their customers really need? The next stage was where the fun began. Children were asked to be creative and think up as many solutions as possible. We helped them brainstorm. This step should always be geared towards allowing children to think. Are they going to use vegetables or fruits or both vegetables and fruits together as toppings? Any favorites, etc.? Now, transform your ideas into a physical form. This activity also catered to fine motor skills. Now, assembling all the ingredients, children started making biscuit canopies and necklaces. Children should be taught to self-evaluate or reflect on the things they have made and make necessary changes if need be. Either family members or the teacher at school went around checking, tasting, giving feedback so that they could make necessary changes to the toppings that they have used to make the biscuit canopies. This is how they learn to create and reflect. Both these activities facilitated empathy, collaboration, communication skills, negotiation, brainstorming, problem solving, openness to feedback and constructive criticism, etc. These activities are ongoing process in the classroom which help them be aware of their thought processes, the metacognition, that is awareness and understanding of one's own thought processes, strengths, weaknesses of what is my idea, what is my plan. There are various other activities where we can implement design thinking, like picture talk, recreating rhymes. For example, when you say the rhyme Humpty Dumpty, you can ask children if and how they can save Humpty Dumpty from cracking when he falls. Ask children to give their own ending to any story of the choice. For example, Gingerbread Man, can you save him from drowning? If yes, how? Ask children to design something tall, something to sit on, something to carry around, etc. with the help of building blocks or Legos. Design something special for your grandfather, design your school bag, design a birthday greeting card for your mom, design something for your friend or for yourself, etc. So these are some of the responses that we have received from the parents for these activities. Children have varying interests and talents right from preschool age. It is possible to build design thinking around those things that the kids have an interest in and incorporate the curriculum into the overall mode of thinking. Young children are masters of imaginations. For them, launching rocket in space is as easy as learning A for apple. They have not been exposed to stereotypes. Yes, I got disconnected. Sorry. For them, young children are masters of imagination. For them, launching rocket in space is as easy as learning A for apple. They have not been exposed to stereotypes and corrupted knowledge that tends to kill creativity in adults. So it is high time we harness this creativity to best prepare our children for the future that remains uncharted. Thank you and happy designing. Now I'd like to request my co-presenter, Ms. Vijaya, to guide you through the rest of the presentation.
Yellarigu namaskara, Shiva Madhyana. So we have taken one example from a higher class. So this is Vijaya from DPS AECT, Kannada teacher. So in design thinking, we have taken one lesson, 10th standard, that is Vyagra Gite. Please, you can see the picture that Vyagra Gite, two characters are there. One is Shanabhoga and one is Tiger. So in the story, one critical thinking is there that the children, they have to identify that how the tiger will kill the person and the Shanuboga, the person, how can he escape from the tiger? So this is the situation. Children, they have to understand and they have to give their own ideas how they can escape, how Shanuboga can escape from the tiger. So first one is empathize. So first they have to understand the problem. So here the tiger is thinking like it is following some dharma. Huli dharmavanna palistha ide. Swadharme nidhanam shreyasaha. Bible Saitan hindirgu. ಧರಣಿ ಮಂಡಲ ಮಧ್ಯದೊಳಗೆ ಮೆರೆಯುತಿಹ ಕರ್ನಾಟ ದೇಶದು ಇರುವ ಕಾಳಿಂಗನೆಂಬ ಗೊಲ್ಲನ ಪರಿಯ ನಾನೆಂತು ಪೇಳ್ವೆನು. This song I think you heard by. Yes or not? So here this song says that the tiger, he want to kill the cow but he did not kill. So the same story here tiger also remembered. So ಹುಲಿ ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಜ್ಞಾಪಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತು. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಹುಲಿ ಶಾನುಭೋಗನನ್ನ ಕೊಲ್ಲುತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಂಪಥೈಸ್. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ದ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್, ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಯನ್ನ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಏನು? ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತರೆ ಹುಲಿ ನನ್ನ ತಿನ್ನುತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. Second one, define. Let's revise every step of the problem and they have to research and they have to explain themselves. ಸೊ ಪ್ರತಿ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯನ್ನ ಮಗು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಏನು? ಶಾನುಭೋಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು? ಶಾನುಭೋಗ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಓಡ್ಬೇಕಾ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನಿಂತ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾ, ಇಲ್ಲ ತನ್ನ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಂತ ಕೀರ್ತಿ ಪುಸ್ತಕನ ಎಸೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಓಡೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎದುರುಗಡೆ ಇರುವಂತ ಮರನ ಹತ್ತಬೇಕಾ, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುದು? ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ideate, solidarity, imagination, creativity, the inspirational problem solving, everything they will start in their mind. So in Kannada, the ಚಾಕಚಕ್ಯತೆ ಕಲ್ಪನೆಯ ಮೆಟ್ಟಿಲನ್ನ ಏರಿ ಸೃಜನಶೀಲತೆ ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿದಾಯಕ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಯ ಪರಿಹಾರವನ್ನ ಹುಡುಕ್ತಾರೆ. So which is the proper solution they have to take. So they will give the proper solution that they have to the Shanuboga, they have to use their kirti pustaka. Andre Shanuboga kirti pustakavana ಹುಲಿಗೆ ಎಸ್ದು ಮರನ ಹತ್ತಬೇಕು, ಅದು ಒಂದ್ ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ದಾರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. So they'll come to this point. And the last one is prototype. So selecting the models of the deal with the same problems in their day-to-day life. So ಅವರ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ತರ ಸಿಚುಯೇಷನ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಎದುರಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಅವರು ಮನನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾರೆ. ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಅಕ್ಕನ ಮದುವೆ ಇರತ್ತೆ, ಶಾಲೆನೂ ಇರತ್ತೆ, ಶಾಲೆಯ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ನು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಗು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು? ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಯನ್ನೂ ಸಹ ಎದುರಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಶಾಲೆಯ ವಾತಾವರಣವನ್ನು ಸಹ ಮಗು ನಿಭಾಯಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹೀಗೆ ತನ್ನ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಗು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡತ್ತೆ? ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ದಿನದ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಮನನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಆ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವುದು ಸರಿಯಾದದ್ದನ್ನ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ತನ್ನ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಳವಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಮಗುವಿಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಕನ್ಕ್ಲೂಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಮುಂದೆ ತಾವೇ ತಮ್ಮ ಸೃಜನ ಕೌಶಲ್ಯ, ಕಲ್ಪನಾ ಶಕ್ತಿ, ಭಾಷಾ ಪ್ರೌಢಿಮೆ, ಗ್ರಹಿಕಾ ಕೌಶಲ್ಯ, ಓದುವ ಕೌಶಲ್ಯ, ಮಾತನಾಡುವ ಕೌಶಲ್ಯ, ಬರವಣಿಗೆ ಕೌಶಲ್ಯ, ತನ್ನಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಒಂದು ನಂಬಿಕೆ, ಆತ್ಮಸ್ಥೈರ್ಯ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಸರಿ ತಪ್ಪುಗಳನ್ನ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಅಂತದ್ದು, ಬರವಣಿಗೆ ಕೌಶಲ್ಯಗಳೊಂದಿಗೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಆದಂತ ಸ್ವಗೌರವವನ್ನ ಬರೋದಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾರಣ ಒಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್. So design thinking is extremely useful for tackling the problems that are ill-defined or unknown by reframing the problem in human-centric ways, creating many ideas in brainstorming sessions on approaching in the prototyping and testing. So ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಈ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಈ ವಿಧಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಸೃಜನಶೀಲತೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಉತ್ತಮ ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತನ್ನ ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
Thank you, Vijaya ma'am and Jacinta ma'am, for the wonderful presentation. Teacher, now we have come for the conclusion of the topic. So by this, all the presentation, we have come to know that if we want to be a 21st century teacher, we need to inculcate this 21st century skills along with our rigorous academic content to make a deep learning. And these 21st century skills are not just for the rote learning, it is also beneficial for the student development overall in this very competitive world. So with this, I conclude the presentation. Now I request our respected principal, Sister Shaibi, to address the gathering.
A very warm and pleasant good afternoon to all the dignitaries and participants of this great session. The term 21st century skills refers to a broad set of knowledge, skills, work habits, and character traits. The specific skills deemed to be 21st century skills determined differently from person to person, place to place, or schools to school. As a pedagogical leader, it is very important to implement and focus on 21st century skills in our teaching and learning process for the holistic development of children. Today, teachers of our hub KK 1175 presented the various form of implementations and learning outcomes of 21st century skills and design thinking. I'm very happy and grateful to Mrs. Geetika ma'am, Principal of JSS, our lead collaborator of Hub of Learning, who always guides us and a great support for mutual learning. And also, I extend a big thanks to Mahalakshmi ma'am, Anupama ma'am, Veena ma'am, and all the principals of other schools and all the participants for the success of today's sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. Now may I call upon Mrs. Prema for the vote of thanks.
Before vote of thanks, I request Reverend respected Principal Geetika ma'am, a driving force and a strong backbone, who is the cause for today's session and all the webinar series from which started from yesterday, Geetika ma'am, to address the gathering.
Namaskara. A very warm afternoon to everybody. Principal of the Host School, Sister Shaibi Assisi School, my fraternity of teachers, my principal colleagues, Anupama Madam, Veena Madam, Mahalakshmi Madam, everybody, and the facilitators. You were amazing facilitators today. A very warm morning once again to you, and afternoon. Friends, for me, it is very humbling experience because I believe that we all as teachers are also co-learners. So with the intention of learning from the new generation, the new teachers who are taking on our children, preparing them for the future, it was my vested interest to see that what is our now frontline young generation like you all are up to. What have you all made out of this pandemic situations, how these capacity building programs of CBSE, how they have percolated, and how we have executed all that we have learned from the very many CBSE programs and workshops, what's happening in the classrooms. So I want to put on record that this whole experience of being a part of a hub has been very fulfilling for all of us. We are all talking about rubrics. So one of the rubric points for a hub to be doing well is collaboration. Now, we have to have an evidence that we are collaborating, just like the way you have to have evidence of learning in your classroom. Even as hubs, I feel that we had to have an evidence that we are collaborating. And today's series is evidence enough to show that the power of collaboration, the power of teamwork, the power of VIDYASHAKTHI, you all have said it all. So it is so powerful that everyone has worked together and we have all upgraded ourselves and our competencies. If we are saying that 21st century skills are so important, then we as teachers, as individuals, hub schools also have to empower us with the same competencies. And that is what I saw in today's session, where all the schools have collaborated. Prema Madam has taken the lead collaborator for coordinator assisting Sister Shebi for this program along with everybody. When we say collaborate, there is no one person who leads. Everybody works together. So that collaboration was obvious. The way we have communicated the idea, theme being the same, you all are saying. The theme is the same, 21st century skills. But the way we have executed our understanding, how we have internalized it as teachers, because it's very easy to give ideas to everybody, but what sense you make out of it for you, keeping in mind at one end the skills are developed, at the other end your content is covered, and also children's interest is maintained while you're teaching. So we saw an array of expression and artwork, your hard work that you all have put in. I think this is very encouraging, and so that's what came into form as communication skills. Then you talk about creativity, such variety of activities you all have done. It is, I'm spellbound, honestly telling you, sort of ideas we are all taking, because again, doing collaboration is fine, but what is happening in the classroom is what every teacher from every school has shown us. Communication, critical thinking, all of this. So friends, is very important from the point of view of preparing our children for future India, for it being an Atma Nirbhar Bharat, skill education. CBSE has also introduced subjects like vocational subjects, and in our schools also, many schools have included artificial intelligence or early childhood care and education, yoga, financial management. All these have a part A, and in part A, life skills is one of the important part of part A paper, wherein they talk about communication skills, they talk about entrepreneurial skills, they talk about collaboration skills. So friends, these skills are work skills. They are very important to move forward. Otherwise, we'll be restricted in our competencies. And we have to have a Shakti, the Shakti of VIDYASHAKTHI, which has to move forward so that we can reach best learning for best learning outcomes. I want to put on record the hard work done by everybody, and we are looking at for more and more sharing. And thank you very much for being a part of this program. I want to share that this was not easy. We are brave teacher warriors. The teachers have really worked very hard. I can see it. The leaders have worked very hard, because 8 hours a day we are dedicated to our work. After that, to showcase, to make it presentable, to make it understandable in simpler forms, and to work together without having any differences is very important. I can see the smiles on your face, and a big achievement for us, and more power to our hub. Thank you once again.
The video is on.
Thank you, Gitika ma'am, for your motivational and encouraging and rewarding message to us. And now I request Mahalakshmi ma'am, principal of St. Sophia Convent, to address the gathering if present, and also the other principals, Veena ma'am and Anupama ma'am. If you are there, please address the gathering. Meanwhile, the Google form, the feedback form will be shared in the chat box. The participants as well as the presenters are requested to complete or submit the Google form. The feedback forms. Ma'am, you're muted, ma'am.
No, I'm not muted.
Yes, Anupama ma'am, over to you.
Yeah.
I request you to address the gathering.
A very, very good afternoon. Thank you, Prema ma'am, for giving me the opportunity to address all the participants of this session. So firstly, I would like to, I'm a teacher of English, so I always use some skill whenever I have to speak. So today I want to use my summarizing skills and just summarize the entire proceedings of this session. I just want to say I'm impressed. I'm actually overwhelmed with the kind of work that has gone into this presentation. And I'm actually feeling very bad that there are not enough participants from all over the country to see how our teachers have put in so much of effort. They're all doing very well, but this effort is to showcase what they're doing, because many times we are all very hard workers, but the world never comes to know what is it that we are doing. So for us as principals, I'm sure all my fellow principals will agree with me. Today, it has been a revelation for me that so many of our teachers are such good orators, they're good presenters. You know, in the given short span of time, how they just put everything in a nutshell. And I know there's a lot of work that has gone into it, because every time we are asking them to join in something in the evening, they're saying, no, ma'am, we have a rehearsal for the hub, you know. So they have been relentlessly working. I would like to congratulate Sister Shebi, who was the lead collaborator for this session, and you know, Prema ma'am also, and all the other staff members of Assisi School who have taken the initiative to string this all the individual efforts of all the teachers together and make it a beautiful necklace today. So congratulations, our dear educators. We are so proud that like Geetika ma'am said, that you are the ones who are going to you know, lead the show from here on. And we are also happy that all our schools are in such good hands, because we also believe that charity begins at home. If we are expecting that our children will learn about the 21st century skills and innovations and design thinking, it has to start with the teachers. If we do not have any idea about what design thinking is, how are we going to implement it? You know, like I heard a presentation where design thinking can be introduced in kindergarten also. So although I was doing a lot of work here, believe me, I have made so much of notes when I was listening to each one of you. Thank you for your valuable inputs. Even for a seasoned educator like me, there were so many takeaways through your presentation. So I think that says it all, that you are not only doing good work, but I'm so glad that you put it out into the world today that, hey, look, this is what we are doing. And I think that this collective, collaborative effort of ours, VIDYASHAKTHI, has put KK 1175 on a global map. Everybody is going to be talking about KK 1175 and the kind of collaborative work that we are doing, which is the vision of CBSE. They want, when they thought of hubs of learning, the main intention was that we should all learn together and share our work so that we learn from each other. So earlier, I remember 10 years ago, if a neighboring school asked us for some information, we would always say, don't give it to them. That is our unique way of working. Why should they know what we are doing? They will take away all our secrets. We all know now that education is not a secret to be guarded, but it is public property that has to be shared as much as we can. Our intention is that whether the child is studying in DPS or JSS or SCC, every child has a right to good education, and we will do everything that it takes to empower educators, no matter which part of the Bangalore they are, which part of the world they are. We will only empower them so that the larger picture is that all children are going to get the best of education. So keep up the good work. I'm just so eager and enthusiastic to see the rest of the session also. Thank you, Geetika ma'am. I would like to place this on record that VIDYASHAKTHI is her brainchild. You know, the amount of effort she puts into the hub activities is something that I cannot express in words, although I am a teacher of English. She takes it up on a personal level. This is not something that she has to do as a lead collaborator, because we know there are so many hubs of learning where they don't even know their member schools. She puts in that effort to connect all of us, to wake us up when we are sleeping and say, hello, what are we up to? Why are you not responding? We need a seasoned educator like her. And it is only because of her and her vision that VIDYASHAKTHI has come into reality. Thank you, Geetika ma'am. You are an inspiration to me and all the others. And we continue to learn from you and your energy. So well done, educators. Keep up the good work, because I can go on and on and on about how good the session has been. Thank you once again for educating us and empowering us.
Thank you, Anupama ma'am. Such a wonderful and sweet words. And really, ma'am, I should add, we are very proud to be in this hub. We are not only sharing our teaching learning process, Geetika ma'am is also helping us sharing the reward being proud educators and reward sharing also. I request Mahalakshmi ma'am, if you are there, please. I request you to address the educators. And meanwhile, I just add the feedback form is being shared, the Google form. Participants, please respond to that. Okay, I think, and also sincere apologies. In the beginning, we had two technical glitches. We were delaying in the beginning. Very sorry for that. Mahalakshmi,
madam?
Yes, guys. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, because Mahalakshmi ma'am is not visible, I'll take still 2 minutes more. I want to once again thank सबको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आज हिंदी भाषा के बारे में और उसके माध्यम से आपने जो सृजनात्मक प्रस्तुतिकरण करा है उससे भी मैं बहुत ही प्रभावित हुई हूँ. I would, I'm really happy such good evidences in Hindi also came up. But really, well, the spirit of collaboration is that we are all together, and it's really humbling with having such senior colleagues who always selflessly and appreciate the hard work that I put. But this comes with the Shakti, with the power of all of us together. I think the we feeling is very strong. Thank you very much, Anupam madam, and also all other principal colleagues in absentia. What I want to say that, friends, we are also learners, we are also co-learners, and there is so much happening in today's time that we are all having our priorities. It's perhaps she has been magnanimous enough, Anupam madam, saying that she's not been there. What our teachers have done today is showcasing the backbone, the hard work that goes on from a senior principal colleague who takes her team forward. And if you see the migration of the birds, you have one bird which leads. When she gets tired, she takes a back and then another bird leads. So that's how it goes. It really doesn't matter, because once we have decided, we had challenges, and that's what 21st century skills is all about. We had challenges, but then when you are in a seat of decision making, sometimes you learn from your past and you move forward, and everything falls in place when your focus is the children of Hamara Bharat, Aapka Bharat, Sabka Bharat. Jai Hind. Thank you very much.
At the last, I request now Gayatri ma'am of Assisi School to give a vote of thanks. Yes, ma'am. Gayatri ma'am, over to you. Please unmute.
खुशियों से भरी इस महफिल में आज अपनेपन का एहसास हुआ है. आप सबकी गरिमामयी उपस्थिति पाकर यह कार्यक्रम खास हुआ है. सभी आदरणीय प्रधानाचार्य जी को मेरा धन्यवाद. गीतिका खरोला मैम फ्रॉम जीएस प्रिंसिपल जेएसएस पब्लिक स्कूल, अनुपमा रामचंद्रन मैम प्रिंसिपल डीपीएस इलेक्ट्रॉनिक सिटी, बीना अनिल मैम प्रिंसिपल ऑफ दिया अकेडमी, महालक्ष्मी आर मैम प्रिंसिपल ऑफ सेंट सोफिया, सिस्टर शैबी प्रिंसिपल ऑफ असीसी स्कूल. आप सभी आपकी सचमुच उपस्थिति से यह कार्यक्रम बहुत ही ज्यादा खास हो गया है. इसके साथ ही उत्तराखंड तथा कर्नाटक के उपस्थित सभी शिक्षक गणों को मेरा धन्यवाद, जिन्होंने अपना कीमती समय निकालकर इस कार्यक्रम को और भी ज्यादा खास बना दिया है. अंत में मेरे सभी मित्रों को मेरा धन्यवाद. इस यादगार अवसर पर धन्यवाद का मौका पाकर मैं अपने आप को खुशकिस्मत व सम्मानित महसूस कर रही हूँ. अंत में आप सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
Thank you, Gayatri ma'am. Thank you, Gayatri ma'am. Teachers, I would like to request, please send the feedback forms. So by the time you are sharing, and we have a wonderful video here. So this video shows some of the activities that have been conducted in our schools. So I request you all to have a look on this video, teachers. Thank you. Teachers, hope you all have shared your feedback forms. So I thank you all finally once again for joining with us.
And excuse me, I just want to share that all these sessions will be available on YouTube Live for the benefit of everybody. And there are 2 more sessions which are scheduled tomorrow and day after. Tomorrow is action research and the day after is innovative pedagogies. Please share our links with other fraternity members and schools so that more teachers can be a part of it and there can be greater sharing with everybody. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am.